welcome, Kyle. Welcome to Emma's Language Journal. So you're also a fellow YouTuber. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Emma, for having me, for inviting me. My name is Kyle Singer, and I am a language YouTuber. I'm a language learner. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And I like to consider myself a friend of Emma's, even though we haven't spoken in way too long. So my YouTube channel is called Pensando Inglés, and on my channel, I help Spanish speakers to learn or improve their English. Personally, I speak Spanish well, I like to think. I speak a little bit of French, and I've studied some Portuguese, but I could not speak right now if I wanted to. I don't think I could understand a little bit, but I haven't practiced that in a while. So, language enthusiast, YouTuber, father, husband, Kyle Singer, that's me.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Kyle. Now, we used to talk a lot because you're a former student of mine. You studied Spanish with me. So I know that you are one of the hardest workers I know. You're a father, as you said. You have a full-time job and you work a crazy schedule. You're also a language learner and you're dedicated to your language studies. And you practice jujitsu. And you have a YouTube channel. How do you manage it all?
I don't know.
I had a
No,
feeling that was coming.
listen, it's difficult, but you get into a rhythm with these types of things, as you know. Like you said, I see myself really as having three full-time jobs. First and foremost, most importantly, I'm a father. Next, I have a job where I work to pay the bills and give my son and myself clothing and food. And then I have my YouTube channel, and I like to think that I put in as much work on my YouTube channel and my social media as people who do that as a full-time job as well. So I've had to learn over these few years how to make time even when there's not time. And we'll get into how to make time for your language learning, because that is a very important skill that you have to learn, is how to make time for these things. So it's finding time, and more importantly, maybe not wasting it, because all of us, even the hustlers or the go-getters, and I know a lot of you guys are intermediate language learners. A go-getter or a hustler is somebody who works always working on their goals. So even the hustlers and the go-getters, we waste time. We watch Netflix. We take naps that we don't need, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, I'm gonna argue you on those two. I need my sleep, okay? And I use Netflix to practice my Portuguese, okay? So that's my excuse, all right?
Okay. And you know what, Emma, we're going to get into that, because I think that we need to use our entertainment time as language learning time.
Oh, I
So
love that.
wonderful. I love that you said that. I do that as well, and we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, perfect. Well, my question for you is how do you actually fit language learning into your routine?
So never waste a car drive, never waste a walk. Okay. So my car is a university with wheels.
I
Okay.
love it.
So if I am in my car, I'm listening to something that is going to improve my life. Okay. Those of you guys who don't have a car, maybe where you are, you walk, public transportation. Okay. Guess what? I'm sure you guys have these, right?
Yep,
So
earphones.
if you're going to go on a walk, put in your headphones, listen to a podcast, listen to Emma's podcast, listen to one of my videos, listen to something in your target language or something about learning, whatever you're trying to improve on. Never waste a car ride or a walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also something that I always recommend to my students and also to my viewers here. There are so many ways to take advantage of your time and fit language learning into your routine. Taking a shower, okay, listen to a playlist in the language that you want to learn. Are you cooking? Listen to a podcast, or again, listen to a playlist. Instead of watching a movie watching a movie in your native language, why not watch a movie from the language that you want to learn, right? Take advantage of these moments throughout the day to learn. Or for example, are you wasting your time scrolling through Instagram looking at whoever's photos. Okay, why don't you maybe study some Quizlet vocab instead of wasting
Mhm.
your time? Like, be intentional with your time.
Mhm.
I think that's the key here for people who have a busy schedule, but also want to learn that language. Know how to take advantage of your time. And
Yeah.
and disclaimer here, okay, we have to enjoy our lives and we have to enjoy our free time as well, but find a way to make language learning enjoyable, right? Find music that you like, find podcasts that you like, watch videos that you enjoy that make you laugh. But also, don't feel like a slave to your language learning process, because that mentality is not going to help you achieve fluency.
No, it has to be fun. If you're
Yeah.
not going to enjoy the process, it's not going to work out. Absolutely agree with that. You have to find things that you enjoy. For example, I love to read. Some people do not like to read.
Yeah.
So for me, reading is one of the best ways that I can improve my fluency, my vocabulary. But if you don't like to read, that's not going to work out for you at all.
Right. And a lot of people don't actually. I assign a lot of assignments, reading assignments to my students. You know this because I would
Mhm.
assign you reading assignments all the time. And a lot of them are like, I didn't do the reading because I hate reading. And I'm like, all right, okay, we need to personalize this a little bit because I can't keep assigning articles if these people hate reading. I need to find a way to make this enjoyable, or else they're going to give up and just not be interested.
That makes me sad as a book nerd. I
Yeah.
have like 10,000 books surrounding me at all times, but
Yeah.
we have to understand that everybody's different. I
Right.
agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. So part of the reason why I wanted to interview you as well is because you have a son. I don't have children yet, but I wonder, how would one be able to learn a language and become fluent and also have a job and also have a kid? Like, do you get your son involved in language learning?
Yeah, so he's actually he did take a few classes with you back
He
in the day.
did.
Um, so anybody who has children that are trying to learn English or Spanish, Emma was wonderful with my son. He really enjoyed speaking with her, patient and kind. But
Thank you.
uh, yeah, my son actually does little bits of language learning. He has used some apps. There's a really cool app called Dino Lingo for kids. Uh, he learned some Spanish on there. Let me just say, I hate video games. I think video games are a terrible thing for human society, but I realize that a lot of people love them.
Mm-hmm.
And my son is growing up in this generation where everybody plays video games. And my sister gave him a virtual reality headset. Okay.
Awesome.
Now I found a way to for him to use that time in a good way, and there's actually language learning apps on there. So he was using his virtual reality headset the other day to practice a little bit of Spanish. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am integrating a little bit of Spanish in his life because my wife is Colombian. We speak Spanish all the time. She speaks to him in Spanish sometimes,
I
and
love it.
it's so cute. He tries his best to understand her because he loves her. And yeah, so he's definitely getting a lot of exposure to the
Mm-hmm.
Spanish language.
Right. And that's a huge privilege. And this is something that I will tell all parents out there: get your kids learning a language. And you can make it really fun for them. So, Kyle, you said, I hate video games. They're so bad for people. But there's this advantage to gamification, right? Gamification of learning. What is Duolingo? It's making learning fun, right? Dino Lingo, what?
Dino lingo, like dinosaurs.
Dino Lingo. That's gamification of the learning process.
Mhm.
So take advantage of those tools to get your kids learning a language, because that is the best gift that you can give your kids, is an open mind, different perspectives, and better communication skills.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I'm very happy that he has the opportunity to be exposed to this at a young age. And I saw you made a video the other day, language learning makes you more interesting. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but when I saw the thumbnail and the title, I was like, oh, I gotta check that out later because I truly think that is 100% true. I feel like such a more interesting, cool person after I've been exposed to all of this culture and stuff. So exposing my son to this is just adding a whole new level to his personality, and it is a wonderful gift.
Yeah. I mean, not only personality, which obviously is wonderful, but their opportunities in the future. Talk about
Mhm.
all the different jobs they could have, all the different people, all the different experiences they could have by being able to speak another language. I know that one day, because I'm a language teacher, of course, my kids are going to be at least bilingual, but I'm going to try to teach them Portuguese as well. Dude, I wish my parents did that.
You know, there's a lot of benefits to having grown up in the United States. There's a lot of privilege, you know, the richest country on earth. Even the people who are poor here live better than a lot of people around the world. So we can't take that for granted. But there is a lack of culture and exposure to other cultures.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of monolingual people or people who only speak one language here. And that's a shame because a lot of these people's parents speak other languages, but they didn't pass it on because they were trying to, uh, blend into the American
Mhm.
society, which is understandable. But when you're not giving that culture, that language to your children, you're really keeping a gift from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that your viewers are Latinos, and a lot of my viewers are Latinos as well. So, mis Latinos, please teach your kids Spanish. Do not let your kids lose their heritage. Do not let your kids lose their culture and their connection to the Spanish language. I believe this so deeply in my heart as someone who had to study Spanish in university. I'm Mexican American. And I listened to Spanish in my household, of course. I heard Spanish being spoken, but I couldn't speak with my grandma until I was like 20. Like I couldn't have like a deep actual conversation with her. Don't let your kids lose their roots. Please, mis Latinos, teach your kids Spanish.
Enséñales. Yes, please. You have to.
Enséñales. Yes, definitely. Even Kyle's son, Connor, little white boy, he's gonna come out speaking Spanish, and your kids don't speak Spanish? Come on now. So, my question for you, what are some of your recommendations for busy people and for parents to keep up with their responsibilities, but also learn a foreign language?
Okay. So as a father, my son comes first. Okay. So I'm going to put him first. My son's going to eat. He's going to have everything he needs. But another thing that you will learn as a parent, if one day you decide you'd like to be a mother, and one thing that a lot of the parents who are watching this have learned the hard way is that your whole identity cannot be just a parent. You have to take care of yourself because if you are not a whole person, you cannot take care of another person. If you are not complete and happy with yourself, you're going to be grumpy, mad all the time, and you're not going to be able to be a good parent. So, a parent really, really has to take care of themselves, has to find that 15, 20 minutes a day to themselves to have peace, drink a cup of coffee, chill out, toma la suave. Um, so you really need to find this time for yourself because if you are 100% of the time taking care of your kids, only cleaning the house, doing the dishes, you're going to be so stressed out. So that's the first thing. You have to take care of your kids, but you also have to take care of yourself. Now, where to find the time? Like you said, the shower. We're all going to shower. Okay. And people take their phones in the bathroom too.
You know who you are. You know
You
who
know who you
you
are.
are.
So, you have time. You have time. And also, I would challenge the people who maybe watch an hour of a show before bed. Okay. So, if you're watching an hour of TV before bed, do what Emma does and watch something in Portuguese. Okay. Or at least put some subtitles in your target language or something to that effect. But one of the best things that has ever helped me in my language learning was finding good shows in my target language, and especially Spanish because Spanish shows have like 80 episodes in a season,
Novelas, las novelas,
novelas.
¿no? Man,
So, yeah, if you find one of those that you like, you have so much content. And if you just watch an episode before bed, put your kids to bed, watch an episode, you're getting that input, and that's very important. So put your kids to bed, stay up an extra 30 minutes, get up early before you wake them up. Sometimes it's hard, but we got to put our big boy and big girl pants on and make time to achieve our goals.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it sounds like there are a lot of sacrifices that come to being a parent, which scares me a little bit. But I totally agree with you that we need to feel good within ourselves in anything we do in life. And I love your philosophy on being the best version of you, and you do that for your son. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. And I think every parent can learn from that and take inspiration from that. So I thank you for sharing that insight with us. So I have another question for you that's going to
Mhm.
be really good for all of you language learners out there. Kyle's going to share some of the best resources. But before he shares those resources and those tips with us, I want to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, go subscribe to Kyle's channel, Pensando Inglés, and let us know in the comment section down below. How do you manage your busy schedule and learning languages? All right, Kyle. So I want you to recommend us some resources that we can use on the go to learn languages.
Okay, absolutely. So one of my favorite applications that I've ever found is called Link. Have you ever used Link?
No, but you've mentioned this app to me many times.
Okay, so a lot of the people who are watching this know of the polyglot who's pretty well known in the language learning community, Steve Kaufman. Have you ever seen him?
Yes.
So this is his app, and it's a reading app. I love it. So you can find an article or even a whole book on your in your target language, and you can read it, and if you don't understand a word, you tap on it and it translates for you. This is the most efficient and interesting way that I've found to learn new vocabulary. And when I was learning French, I almost exclusively used this, and it was incredible. Um, Next, podcasts obviously are an incredible tool because they're 45 minutes to an hour at times, and you put that on when you're going on a walk or a car ride. Just listen. Podcasts are more for advanced learners,
Mhm.
okay? So for more people who are just starting on their language learning journey, I really recommend what I do on my channel, which is called comprehensible input. My videos are between 10 and 20 minutes of simple English. I speak slow, I draw, I show pictures, and this is just downloading English from a native speaker into your brain. And that is something that has helped me so much. And that's really what I attribute a ton of my Spanish to, is having found comprehensible input. So that's my learning. That's my routine. I read on Link. I listen to native level podcasts in Spanish because now my Spanish listening is pretty much native level. But if I'm starting out on a language, it's Link and comprehensible input.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing those resources, Kyle, and thank you for sharing your philosophy on managing a busy life, on managing a full-time job, and on being a good parent. So I appreciate you for sharing all of those insights with us.
Can I just add one more thing about being a parent?
Of course.
Don't feel bad about taking that little bit of time to yourself, because sometimes you'll have guilt like, oh, I should be, you know, playing with my kid this 20 minutes. You got to take that 20 minutes for yourself. And your kid is going to be so proud of you when they see you doing these cool things, when they see you achieving their goals. I think that achieving your goals and being an example for your child is one of the best things you could do for them. So by taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your child as well.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with all the language learners out here that are parents and for people who want to be parents one day. So I'm definitely going to take that advice to heart and apply that to my journey one day when I have children.
Wonderful. Wonderful. It was a pleasure. I hope somebody out there was able to learn something that they could use in their life as a parent, as a future parent, or a busy language learner.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if you guys liked this video, go subscribe to Kyle's channel. He has Pensando Inglés. Subscribe to me. I always bring you guys new topics every week about language learning. Give this video a like. And if you like this video, go watch this one because I think you're going to enjoy it and learn something useful from it as well. See you next week.